Words are about to be spoken on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, brought to you by the Ad Free Show's podcast, Eat and Wrestling, according to Alba Networks. I'm John Alba. That's the broken one, the welcome one, the spoken one himself, Mr. Matt Hardy. What's cooking, my man? I love seeing some neon green with the Hardys. That's always
look at that new merch drop. Pro Wrestling Tees, Hardys. We are forever since 1992. Yeah, throwback to the old Hardys colors. Probably reminds you of your Twist of Fate shirt you got back in the day, the lime green with the purple in the front. This one is kind of based off that one. So brand new merch drop, guys. Just came out, so get it. Pro Wrestling Tees, a brand new Hardys tee.
Is that a Jeff thing, the neon green?
This was my idea to do the shirt this way. They actually released a shirt like this that was in a crate, and they don't like to make those after they put a special shirt in a crate. But I said, hey, can we just reverse that and do because it was purple and the letters were lime green or had lime green highlights in it. And I said, can we reverse that, make the shirt lime green, Hardy Boys green, and then put purple on the emblem and everything. And they were cool with doing it. And voila, we got a new shirt.
Very vibrant.
Very vibrant. It's very, very summery.
Yes, a lot of energy given off here in the summer. Man, we got a loaded episode this week. We've got number one contender for the TNA World Championship, Santana, coming on our show. Mike Santana is going to be facing off with Joe Hendry and the TNA World Champion Trick Williams at TNA Slammiversary. We recorded that interview last week, so if you see us wearing different things and you're watching on YouTube, that's why. But Slammiversary, man, this is it. Like, this is the big home stretch. This is the big push happening this Sunday. UBS Arena. Holy moly, man. I can't believe it's actually here. TNA is going to put well over 5,000 fans, it's looking like, at UBS. That's a pretty big accomplishment for the company. Yeah.
And they just opened up 3 more sections I saw a couple days ago. So I just heard recently tickets were moving really well this week. I guess there's people who know what they're going to be doing. They have their weekend plans. So it's cool that attendance is moving up pretty quickly right now. So if you get a chance, grab a ticket. I'm telling you, it's a show you do not want to miss. There's going to be some phenomenal surprises at this show. There's going to be a lot of great things happening. And I can promise you, this 4-way ladder match myself and Jeff are going to have, we're going into this like it's a WrestleMania match. We're going into it like it's a WrestleMania moment. This is a big deal for us. We're considering it one of our most important matches. And we're going out there to show people why we are the greatest tag team of all time. That is our goal at the end of the day.
I listened closely, and I heard you say there's going to be a lot of phenomenal surprises. Been a lot of people chattering there, Matt, that maybe they could see an AJ Styles type show up at Slammiversary. You expecting some surprises here?
Anything can happen at TNA, brother.
True.
We got a lot of cool stuff going on. You never know. You never know.
That's true. That's very true. It's looking like a cool card, man. There's some good WWE integration on it, and the top stars are going to be out to play on this show. And I think that's always a good thing when you can load things up. We had a great interview with Carlos Silva, the president for TNA, last week on our podcast. If you haven't had a chance, you get any feedback on that one, Matt?
Great. A lot of people really complimented me on that this weekend. Actually, when I was at a con, Fanboy Expo, a lot of people complimented the interview. They thought Carlos was a great guy. It was their first opportunity to get to know him, and so many people complimented me on the podcast in general, John. So I feel like we're doing people a kindness. They seem to dig it. They dig how we're very transparent, we're very honest, and we both give our opinions and we discuss things fairly.
Love it. That's what we love to hear. You check out our archive. ExtremeHardy.com, of course, is where you can get all of that. And we've been pushing hard, man, because coming up here, we are less than a month away. I am so freaking excited. The Hardy Party takes over Kowloon. Goodness gracious, people are starting to get excited for this one, man. I am. You are. Brother Nero is. Why are you so excited? What can people look forward to?
I would make the trip to Kowloon just to have dinner, no doubt. I'm going to have sushi. I'm going to have some Mongolian beef. I'm going to have a little bit of everything, man. Kowloon is one of the best restaurants you'll ever be in. And on top of enjoying the eating experience, now you can enjoy the Hardy experience because we're having a huge Hardy party. I'm doing a podcast with John Alba, and the one that we do will be live. It will be placed on our feed, and it will be appearing in just a couple weeks, so you can be part of it. And then Jeff is going to be doing about an hour and 15-minute acoustic concert, and his music is really impressive. He is so passionate about his music, much like he was in the early days of pro wrestling. It's something he's really hungry to do and succeed in, and I can't wait for you to see Jeff in his environment doing his thing.
It's very cool. HardyBoysLive.com is where you get those tickets. HARDYBOYZ live.com. The VIP is $250. You're getting the meet and greet, which of course you might get deleted in the process too. You get a signed item, you get a picture, you're going to get priority seating for the event itself, which is something that we don't typically do for our Hardy parties. So this is an extra added bonus perk that you'll get. You'll be able to be up close to the stage and right there interacting with Matt and Jeff. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. HardyBoysLive.com. Make sure you pick up your tickets now for this Kowloon extravaganza. We are very, very excited for this one. It's going to be one of our biggest shows, if not our biggest show of the year. So make sure you head on out to Kowloon on August 10th. Doors are going to open at noon. Show's going to start at 1, and the meet and greet will be after that. Very, very excited for that. I was on the subway wearing my Kowloon hoodie that we got last time.
Right.
And someone came up, he fist bumped me. He's like, dude, Kowloon, you know what's up. I said, I sure as hell do. And I'm going to be going back there in under a month. The night before, you guys are going to be doing your whole New England excursion, Limitless Wrestling. Just announced Swipe Right, man. You guys, you got your wish. You wanted Swipe Right. You're going to get a chance to delete Swipe Right. That's got to be kind of cool for you getting to work with like the Stars of Tomorrow. I mean, this is like a WWE ID team here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is your first time wrestling a WWE ID team, right?
It is. I mean, the WWE ID thing is relatively new, and it is the first time we've wrestled a WWE ID team. And this WWE ID team of Swipe Right, they're going to find themselves being able to make a name for themselves just by being in the ring with the Hardys, by being around the energies that the Hardys bring to the ring. Because I promise you, that night at Limitless Wrestling, the fans are going to be out. It's going to be crazy, and the energy will be different. There is no energy. It is magical energy when you watch a Hardy Boys match, and this match will be no different. So Swipe Right. It's time to make yourself famous, guys.
There you go, right there. I like a little mini promo cut from Matt Hardy, and it's just cool to me because like WWID so far, you know, I had some skepticism about it at first, but so far I think it's been a pretty good rollout and everything they've done. They haven't restricted anyone from doing anything, which is good.
Right.
And to get a chance to step in there with some future WWE Hall of Famers as they're just these like prospects, I think that's pretty cool. And that's just not something that wrestling's ever really seen before, and that opportunity hasn't really ever existed, you know.
Well, I think that's one of the very unique things about myself and Jeff. You know, we are viewed as by the majority of wrestling fans as living legends or as these icons, right? And it's weird. It's weird to even say that. It feels so weird to say that because I don't think of myself like that. I mean, internally, I still feel like I'm 18 or 21 years old. You know, a little more beat up on the outside, but I'm feeling great nowadays. Obviously, taking care of myself, busting my ass on my diet, my training, everything else. Been focusing everything towards Slammiversary, but myself and Jeff, we take a lot of pride in working with the next generation and sharing our secrets. So it is cool that we are one of the few acts that are like kind of this living legend status who are willing to work with younger guys or newer talent, you know, because a lot of guys back in our day, they certainly wouldn't do that. You had to have a name and you had to be established and do whatever else, and no one would be willing to take a chance on you. So that's one thing myself and Jeff were very proud of. And we also kind of consider that a challenge. It's our job to pull the best out of them. And as I talk about a lot, make the greater good go down in that match.
Yeah, gonna be very excited. Like half the TNA rosters on that show, so it's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited for that at the historic Lewiston Coliseum, limitlesswrestling.com. You can get
Big system baby faces, which is so strange.
Yeah, how about that? You got to get along with them now.
Yeah, they're gonna be 2025 DX or something along those lines.
That's good. I like that. Okay, huge wrestling weekend before we get into our Santana interview. I was in Texas for All In. We had Evolution. We had Goldberg's retirement. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy weekend in wrestling. And I know you were on your cons, but you did get a chance to tune in to see some of this stuff. All In, we've talked about the show a good amount, but this was AEW's biggest show of the year. It was at the stadium, Globe Life Field. Crazy environment, really, really loud in there. And they had 4 main events, Matt, that got a lot of people talking. But ultimately, in the very main event, Hangman Page finishes his story. He stands tall. We get the run-ins. He beats Jon Moxley in a Texas death match. How do you feel about your boy, Hangman Page, laying down that cowboy shit and earning the AEW World Championship back?
I am so happy that Tony made the decision to go with Hangman Adam Page. I have applauded his strengths and his layers as a character, as a performer. He's constantly evolving his persona. He's very much go with the flow. He's very much stay on the pulse of kind of what's going on in society and pop culture. So I definitely dig that. And I think he was the right decision. He was the right guy to kind of be the face of AEW and take the title away from Jon Moxley and the Death Riders and lead AEW into the future. I liked the match. I thought it was great. I only have one real criticism with the match, but I thought the match was great. I thought they both busted their ass. They were both bleeding. I think this match called for blood. The run-ins that happened, I liked all those. There was a lot of time during the match, though, that the Death Riders were just standing by ringside, which was one thing that was weird. It was weird that they didn't just jump on Adam Page and kill him then. That would be my only complaint really about the match. It would have been nice if they would have done the first run in, there would have been enough guys got out of there, then they got out of the ring, then it was back to one-on-one, because at any point where it's just Hangman and Moxley out there wrestling, it's weird seeing the Death Riders and then they're not trying to kill Hangman and make sure to ensure their guy keeps the title. That is my only criticism.
That's fair criticism. I think that's fair. And it would have warranted guys coming in maybe a little quicker and coming to his aid and helping him. But you were cool with how the run-ins went down?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm always cool with that. I mean, it's pro wrestling, and I don't take it overly serious. I love when they have great matches. I'm a big fan of that, obviously. And sometimes they are deserved to not have interference on these big pay-per-view cards, but this one did. I mean, there were so many different parts of the story that have really played into this over the last year. So I think they were all warranted, and I thought they were done really well. And I'm very happy Hangman won. And I think it was a very, very great main event overall.
How'd you feel about the swerve moment?
I liked it. I mean, I think they've done a good job with that, where these guys are on the same page. They're not friendly. They don't necessarily even like each other, but you understand that they have like this special bond after all this trauma they've been through. And I don't mind it. I think it's good storytelling.
Yeah. Well, you dug the collision segment leading up to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that has been good. I feel like the swerve Hangman story in general, just if you look at the whole arc, I think it is one of the better done stories in AEW. So I'm cool with that. And it gives them a lot of room to grow and do different things, and their relationship can change as time goes on. But I mean, they've done a really good job right now of building it into what it is, where it's something I feel like people are emotionally invested in, because you're like, well, is one going to turn on the other? Because that could happen at any time too, because you do feel like that. Or are these guys eventually going to get closer, or are they going to bond more because of their shared experiences together?
Yeah. Well, it's like now Swerve has kind of proved himself worthy of an AEW world title shot from Hangman, right? Like he helped him. He did the right thing. And when one day when they have another match, maybe the terms will be a little different. And I think that's exciting. And that builds to something very different. And even just the small detail in this, where like Hangman came out to his old music, right? Like it showed the character had his full journey, and the journey came full circle. He had grown as a person. And I thought that was really, really well done. Speaking of Swerve, he and Ospreay faced the Young Bucks in the building mat. This match was electric. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was a very strong tag match. I mean, I never expect anything less from the Bucks, because I know how talented they are. They're both very, very good. I feel like it was a strong match. In some ways too, I can let it slide. I know the BT trigger got prostituted quite a bit in the match, which is okay, because it was a very big match, and I understand why you do that. You kind of go all out. But I thought it was good. I thought it was really solid. I thought it was constructed very well. I love the stuff where they were super kicking Ospreay, and then Swerve stood in front of him. Then he started eating the super kicks, and I just love their camaraderie. I thought it was a very, very good match.
Yeah, and that was a callback too. You know, again, the Bucks are some of the very best in the world at integrating callbacks and story beats into their matches.
No doubt. I mean, and they won't get that credit until they're finished wrestling.
And I hope eventually they do get that credit, because they truly are some of the best ever to integrate story beats into their matches. And
I hope they do too. It's just that fan base is so they do have a lot of respect for the Bucks, but that fan base is also very vocal too. And there's just things about the Bucks that they're not going to like, and it just is what it is. They play into those things so much. They always have.
Like their 5-minute Undertaker entrance for this match.
Yeah, but I mean the things they play into, like when they said, that they disrespected Booker T and they kind of made that into a bit. You know what I mean? People like,
Mhm.
well, these guys must be jerks. They must be dickheads. But the Bucks are great at what they do, and they're not afraid to go out and relinquish their fear of being an asshole. You know what I mean? And they do
Yeah.
that. They'll both go out there and they'll be an asshole if need be.
I love this match. This was my favorite match of the night on that card, start to finish, truthfully. I also really enjoyed Mercedes Moné and Tony Storm. We've covered both these ladies at length on this podcast, and this was the
Mhm.
biggest women's match that AEW's done to date. Tony Storm picking up the W here. How'd you feel about that one?
Once again, I thought it was really good. I think Tony Storm is one of the best characters in AEW, bar none. Like I love watching her work. I love seeing her do character things. She has great character beats that she can do, and I love the fact they even did a thing where they locked up and like walked up the stairs backwards. Which is a little campy. But I dig that. I think those matches need personality, not just like great work rate, go through 100%, 5-star, banger, 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 banger. I love the character, the character work she implements in every single match. And I thought Mercedes did great too.
Yeah, it was great work in the ring, character work. It was
Mhm.
all around a really, really good match. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then also Okada Omega. So this one was a little controversial, Matt. You know how excited I was for this one. The Okada
Yeah.
Omega series I consider to be one of the greatest series of matches in wrestling history. And I thought they were having a really good match. They were telling the story that I expected them to tell with Kenny's diverticulitis. And Don Callis jumps up on the apron to break up a pin, and he pulls the referee. He pulls the referee, and not only does he pull the referee, he beats the shit out of the referee. And there's no DQ called. Another referee runs in and counts a fall for Okada to win. And it just took me so out of this match, and I was so bummed because I had expectations of them delivering a, a finish that didn't insult my intelligence, frankly, because I've been trained in my 28 years of watching wrestling that DQs matter, and like this is what a DQ looks like and all that. And I for a company that prides itself in work rate, I was a little let down by how that went down. What do you think of the decision to include a spot like that and play out this dream match in that way?
Yeah. I mean, that's totally understandable. And I don't disagree with you. I mean, they've been uh very by the books when it comes to rules. Like the Continental Classic, there can be no interference, and I know there's some people that get frustrated by that, that are trying to be heels and get heat, whatever else. So it is weird that they pulled the ref out and he took a face bump and then he got stomped in the back of the neck. It is weird that wasn't a DQ, especially because AEW really prides itself on following the rules and being by the rules. So not crazy about that finish. I would have tried to do something different. I
Just
I,
just
I
have
don't
them
I don't think I
find
would
a
have done
different way
that.
to cheat, right? Like find a different way to cheat that doesn't spit in the face of the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have pushed the focus on rules so strongly. I think when they break their own rules, so to say, I think it is disappointing to their fan base.
Yeah.
Because their fan base expect them to follow by the rules, and they don't expect lazy booking like that, so to say.
Yeah, no, and it was lazy, and I think Tony realized it afterwards in the press conference. He was kind of trying to backtrack on it a little bit, but it was what it was. It is what it is, as your boy would say.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask you on the heels of all this too. One of the biggest things that happened on the show that was really just a gut punch was this Adam Cole news, where he was supposed to defend the TNT Championship,
Right.
pulls out of the match, relinquishes the championship, and he gives this speech that basically feels like a retirement speech. And
Right.
the reports are he's dealing with some concussion related issues. You got a lot of love for Adam Cole. We've had him on this podcast before. Check it out in the archives, extremehardy.com. How do you feel about all this situation with him?
I feel terrible for Austin, man. I mean, I was looking up, he's 35 or 36. He's about 15 years younger than me, and just such a talented individual, such a good human being. One of the better quality human beings I've ever met. And it just sucks that if this is the case and it is an injury that will cut his career short, it's very sad. And I hate to hear it. I definitely feel for him because I know he loves pro wrestling with all of his heart. And I got to work with him in his early formative years and really enjoyed it. And we've remained friends since then. So I feel terrible. This happened.
Truly one of the nice guys of pro wrestling, and
No
it
doubt.
is just a shame seeing all that happen. It rocked everyone in the building, but then they gave Dustin the win, and Dustin, I think he's 56 years old or something like that, and having a chance to win the championship on that stage in Texas. I mean, you've known Dustin a while. That's got to be a pretty cool thing, right?
No doubt. And I love that call. I mean, I think that was a very good make good, considering he had that down. It was such a down emotional moment with the Adam Cole thing. I think to have Dustin win in Texas, in his home state, was really cool because Dustin busts his ass. He's AEW through and through and through and through, and he preaches for the company. And I respect the hell out of that. I mean, if you're going to work somewhere, you should wave the flag, and nobody does that better than Dustin Rhodes. And Dustin still, he busts his ass to stay in shape. He busts his ass to stay in ring shape. He busted his ass to say, keep his sobriety. So I have a great amount of respect for Dustin Rhodes, and I'm very, very happy that Tony pulled the trigger and put the title on an older individual. That makes me happy that Tony did that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Cody, when he left, Dustin could have gone with him, but he didn't. He stuck it out.
Sure.
He stayed loyal to Tony, and it's nice seeing him get rewarded.
In
a way like
this.
Very
nice. Yes. Kudos to Tony Khan for making that call.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very important show, and goodwill is such an important thing in wrestling as well. So we'll see if the fans are there for it and how they stick around in the aftermath of All In, and if they're ready for Hangman Page to be champion again. I think his first run maybe didn't pan out the way that a lot of people hoped it would. So now we'll find out and see if they are here for it the second time around. He was more like Hang Boy before, but now he's truly Hangman.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Cope coming back and telling Christian to go find himself rather than go fuck himself. What do you think about that angle getting underway?
I mean, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for them to team up again. Obviously, so much shared history with those guys. Those guys and myself and Jeff, we made each other famous. No Mercy, 1999, the first ever tag team ladder match. And we're going to always be so closely associated together. The fact that they're getting ready to get back in business and team up some makes me happy.
I still think that Cope should have told him to go fuck himself. He should have made the save. He took his time. He did the Jeff Hardy thing. He got the full pyro, took his time getting down to the ring. He makes the save. I think Christian should have shown a little bit of gratitude. And then Adam's like, go fuck yourself. And I think that would have built a good foundation for this.
What did you think about that when Adam did his entrance and everything else? Did that bother you?
So normally that shit would bother me, right? Because I crapped all over it at the Saudi Arabia show. But the only reason it didn't bother me so much is that, like, in storyline, right? Christian is an asshole. He has nothing. He has done nothing to deserve help from Cope at all. In fact, he really has done everything to deserve the opposite. Right. So Cope getting the full entrance and making Christian have to wait, I'm good with that. And that's why it should have been like a tough love sort of thing. That's why I think he should have told him to go fuck himself. Like, he did the right thing because he knows it's the right thing to do, but Christian's got to earn his respect back. And I would have gone that way. It came off a little Disney cheesy with the go find yourself to me.
I didn't mind him taking his time because now I feel like the whole thing where Jeff did the juke and I wanted everyone to stop and let Jeff come out in entrance like a big star, but they didn't. They just kept whipping my ass. And I don't know if somebody told them to keep doing that or whatever else. And then Jeff awkwardly came down and half-ass juked, half-ass ran to the ring. So I saw a ton of that with the Penta thing when that happened in Saudi. And then I saw a bunch of it with the Adam thing. And I saw some people like, why are you doing that? Just get down in the ring. And it totally makes sense. Like, he doesn't, especially storyline wise, like, this guy's been an asshole to him, an absolute asshole.
What's his incentive
to do the right thing? So yeah, he doesn't have any big motivation to save him. He's just kind of doing it out of the kindness of his heart. So I love the fact that he did his entrance and did it big. I thought that perfectly played into the story.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Like I said, normally I wouldn't be, but in this case, it was totally fine. I just wish he went all the way in. I was like, no, dude, go fuck yourself. And then bounced out of there. And then Christian would have really had to grovel and earn that love back. But we'll see. I'm glad. Look, I'm just glad they're doing it. It's about time. It's about time. It took long enough to get here. It took 1.5 years to get here. So I'm glad that it's actually happening. Goldberg retired, man.
I did get to see that match too. I actually walked into my hotel room right after this crazy Gene Simmons invited us to be a host at this party he was having for some foundation raising money or whatever else. And there were a couple other celebrities in there. What was so wild, I actually, whenever I left this get together and went up to my room, I actually was able to see the Goldberg Gunther match, actually. So I did see that. So we can't talk about it if you've seen it too.
Yeah, well, did you see his interview with Ariel Helwani too? And the
I saw,
headlines that came
I
off
saw a
that?
couple. I saw a couple clips from it, and he jumped on that pretty quickly. um, you know, I was surprised they were given as much time as they were.
Well,
Have you seen?
I think
Have you
some
seen
of
it,
it
John?
was a result of the Seth Rollins injury earlier in the night.
Yeah, I mean that could make sense. I mean, I thought, considering I didn't have super high expectations for Goldberg, but I thought he did pretty good considering.
Do you think he's got a right to be a little peeved off here with how they presented the retirement?
I
It's subjective. It's not your retirement, it's his retirement, but
it is subjective, no doubt. I mean, I feel like if you've been, he said what they had 3 weeks of build or whatever.
yeah,
I feel
3
like
weeks of build. We've known that they were planning this for like a year or so.
you've got to kind of expect that, I would guess. I mean, maybe he was a little salty because he wanted to do his farewell speech at the end, but I know like it was at the top of the hour, so they were like out of time. I don't think they cut him off intentionally.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
out of time. We got to go. We'll keep the
they
tapes
were out of
rolling.
time. They gotta go. And if he did the rest of it, they could probably post it on socials or whatever. But I mean, it just is what it is. It's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Gunther get this win over this legend, you know. So we, you know, we did get to see that, and he choked him out, which is cool. You know, like you can't think of too many people that have choked out Goldberg and beat him in a match in that capacity. So it was a very good thing for Gunther. I love the fact when Gunther was selling at the very beginning, there was a shoulder tackle and he went back into the ropes and bounced off like Gunther. You could tell he was working very hard to make Goldberg feel as good as he possibly could, like to sell for him and make him look big and dominant in his effort to beat Gunther. Although, you know, he didn't, and Gunther won and got the rub.
You don't got to convince me, man. You know, I think Gunther is like the pro wrestler out there. I mean, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And Goldberg had very high praise for him afterwards. So I'm not surprised by that in any way. Just this whole weekend got me thinking of all these super cool dream matches that are out there, like Gunther and Hangman, Drew McIntyre and Hangman. There's so much great shit out there in wrestling right now. And you know, Seth Rollins getting hurt sucks. I hope that it doesn't throw off too much creative for WWE, but that's a crappy situation. They had some goodwill from the Evolution show, which I thought was really, really good.
Right.
And the ladies really brought it. I know you were big on the ladies getting some good representation this week, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're going to do it, I saw a couple people that bitched about it a little bit, but I think if you're going to really have the women dominate an episode of Raw, the best time you can do it is the Raw after Evolution.
Yeah, I thought Evolution was a really good show, and I'm glad that they followed up with things. Happy for Naomi cashing in. That was not what I thought was going to happen at all, so I'm happy for her. And yeah, crazy week, man. Crazy week in wrestling, and I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about it. We do, though, have an interview coming up with Mike Santana. It's 1/3 of the TNA World Championship match at Slammiversary. But before we can get to that, Matt, you know what I got to ask. Please, my friend, hit us with that Matt fact.
Matt fact: Matt requires soft shoes for physical activities.
Is that a Jimmy Legs thing? Is that a getting old thing? Is that what is that a preference thing? What is that?
A little bit of getting old and Jimmy Legs. Like if I'm going to do hard cardio, like I have to wear shoes that are like more flexible with the like soft material that moves. Because if I have like those hard leather shoes, it'll like bother my feet and ankles. And it's probably because, you know, I am a little anatomically wider, which is another Matt fact, a callback, a little anatomically wider in the hips and pelvis. So yeah, that is one thing that I was thinking about that. Like, oh, I have to put on these shoes. Like if I'm going to wear like hard shoes, like really leather shoes, it has to be for like a little amount of time. I can't like be moving around a lot, or at least I'll beat my heels up.
You may be anatomically wider, you know, down there, but you're also anatomically larger down there, Matt Hardy, because damn it, you are using Blue Chew every single week at the Hardy compound. Guys, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk in a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex, man, you can walk into the Hardy Gym Dick first down there.
You definitely can, and I definitely do.
I got you frazzled here, but don't worry. You won't be frazzled when you pop a Blue Chew because you'll be confident when it matters most. You never know when your special human's going to want it. So you got to be sure that you're ready to go on a moment's notice. And that's why we tell all of our Extreme Life of Matt Hardy listeners that Blue Chew is the solution. You just chew it, you just do it, and you are good to go. Man, this is like a dick revolution we got going on here.
Yeah, sometimes, man, you just got to walk in and hit them with the brick. You know what I mean, John?
Oh,
sometimes
I do.
You just got to hit them with the brick.
You got to hit them with the brick, and you got to break some backs in the process. We want to help you do that here. This isn't about performance. This is about legacy, or in this case, third leg, a C. Give her group chat something to talk about, when you lay it down. They're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code HARDY at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety information. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, I would like to introduce to you one of my favorite Bariquas. Maybe even I like him, maybe even more than my wife, actually. But one of my favorite Bariquas. This is Mike Santana of TNA Total Nonstop Action. This Sunday at Slammiversary, he is going to be challenging for the TNA World Title, and I pray to God that he wins this match. I hope him or Joe Hendry bring the title back, but I would love to see Mike Santana win in New York. I mean, that is a very happy ending for this notorious world title run of Trick Williams. With that being said, let's talk to one of the hardest workers I know, Mike Santana.
Yo, what's good, Matt? Thanks for having me on. How's it going?
Good, man. Thank you for joining us, man. Once again, I want to put over the work you've done. Even before that, I want to go back because I worked with you in AEW. That's when I first got to know you a little bit, right? I want to talk about how you are someone who refused to settle. Yeah. You are someone who bets on yourself. You didn't necessarily like the direction, the way things were going there. And as opposed to bitching about it or moaning about it or complaining, you said, okay, well, I'll finish up. I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go somewhere where I get what I want. And, man, kudos to you. I mean, that was the same thing with me at the end of the day at AEW. I ended up saying, okay, well, that's fine. I'll go somewhere else. And I think that's something Vince would never fuck with me too much because Vince knew, like, I was fine leaving. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay. There's a lot of wrestling you can do out there. And the fact that you bet on yourself, you came to TNA, you quickly elevated yourself into a top guy, and you have people behind you. They want to see you win the title. They think you deserve the title, and that's a credit to the work you've done on yourself, and that's a credit to you for elevating yourself to that level.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, it's been quite the journey, right? And I've never been someone that has been complacent. And, I've been through way too much in my life, and I've survived way too much in my life. And to just, like, be happy to be there, right? Like, that's just never been me. I'm very goal-oriented, and I didn't get into the game just to be another guy. You know what I mean? So, like, and it's scary having a family and giving up a very good paycheck and all that stuff. But I knew that I knew it was what I needed to do. I knew that the work that I was willing to put in, and at the end of the day, nobody's gonna back you more than yourself. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I've learned throughout this whole process is that, like, you have to trust yourself. And I bet on myself double. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, thankfully, things have been paying off, and I've been busting my ass out there, and not just in TNA, but all over the indies and traveling and staying busy. And yeah, man, like they always say, and you know this more than anyone, Matt, like in order for you to get better, you have to continue, like you have to work your ass off and constantly be on that grind. And I'm a firm believer in that too. And that's just what I did. Like, as soon as I was cleared from my injury, I came back. I had the talks with AEW. Our our minds weren't on the same page. And I was like, yo, it is what it is. No hard feelings, but business is business. You know, I gotta protect my brand, and I gotta look out for myself and do what I gotta do. So here I am, and thankfully it's paid off, and it's continuing to pay off. And it's crazy to think of where I was just 3 years ago, not just in my professional life, but in my personal life, dealing with, you know, with the addiction stuff and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of times when I'm traveling home from, you know, TVs or NXT or wherever, man. And I always take the time to reflect, because like, I think back to when I was in that room going through detox, just like questioning my life, like what the fuck did I do to myself? You know what I mean? And the fact that I am about to main event one of the biggest pay-per-views in TNA in New York for the world title is insane to me. So I'm very thankful, and I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah. I mean, and you're rocking and rolling right now. I got to tell you, Mike, you and I had a chance to lay down a piece for the Takedown on Sports Illustrated a couple months ago, and it's probably, I've been a journalist now for more than a decade, and it's probably one of my favorite stories I've ever had a chance to tell, because you are so easy to root for, given what you've been able to overcome, how you've been able to bet on yourself, and finding yourself now in a main event position as a single star. As you said, this is one of the biggest opportunities that you've ever had. How have you been processing the whirlwind of change, not just in your professional career, but your personal life over the last calendar year?
Man, I honestly, like, I'm blessed and thankful to have the support system that I do. And Matt, you know more than anything that, like, when you're dealing with anything really, right, and especially with the addiction stuff and stuff like that, like, a support system is so important. And thankfully, you know, I've had that, and like, you know, when I first set forth on this journey, right, like, there was a lot of people that doubted me. There was a lot of people that were like, oh, he's never going to be anything other than a tag team guy. He's never going to do anything other than that, and whatever. And that shit fueled me, bro. Like that, I was like, yo, doubt me, please, because all you're doing is feeding the fire, right? And also my little girl, man, like, you know, she is my biggest cheerleader. She is my biggest motivation. And like, just as she's getting older and seeing her process things differently and truly understand the magnitude of what I do, and you know, I've taken her on trips with me, and she's so, like, immersed in it. But just her getting to see me live out this dream, and for her to truly understand and believe that anything is possible. You know, I tell her, I make it my business to always take her back to my roots and where I come from, and for her to see, like, you know, see the projects and see the streets that I came from, and know the things that I've went through to get to where I'm at. And so that she can see that it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've been through, that when you work hard and you believe in yourself and you put in the work, like, anything is possible. You know what I mean? So I think that's been my biggest motivator. And also, like, learning the balance of being a father and being Mike Santana. I love that I've been able to, you know, really learn that. And it takes time. You know what I mean? Like,
it does.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
It takes time to define the performer and the human being.
100%. And because, as you know, Matt, this business is so selfish. Like, we give everything to it. You know what I mean? And never expecting anything in return. But like, and it takes a lot of time. And it takes a lot of time and effort and sacrifice, as we all know. And but the fact that I've gotten to a point where I've been able to grind my ass off and work as hard as possible, but also be a father and be present at home. And, like, I could show you around right now, there's not one wrestling picture, there's not one wrestling poster in my home because I like having the separation of
Mhm.
all right, Mike Santana is when I leave here and I enter the airport, and I'm Mark Sanchez at home, or I'm Poppy
Yeah.
at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
loved learning to have that balance. And yeah, man, I'm thankful for everything that's happened and everything that's yet to happen. You know?
It's an important thing to learn, and it's
Yeah,
not easy, especially when you would come up at WWE in the 90s. You know, they
yeah,
would tell us like, you guys are fucking stars, and you play you are this character, you are this persona your entire
hmm,
life. That never changes, because that's how we want you to present. That's how, and there's a lot of
hmm,
guys who get fucked up with that. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm,
I'll give you the greatest example. Ric Flair. I mean, Ric Flair
hmm.
the performer and Ric Flair the guy, they're the same person. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
You know, even when he's out doing whatever, it's like, woo, let me get this bar tab. Woo, let me do this. It has to be, I have to pay an excessive amount for the suit because I'm Ric
yeah,
Flair, you know, and
yeah.
he is what he is. Having a definitive, clear line between those things is something that was very important for me to establish too. And understanding, hey, I'm just fucking Matt Hardy, the regular ass human being. When I go through the curtain and the red light's on, I can be Matt Hardy, the superhero, but you
Yep,
cut that shit off whenever you come home. And the
absolutely.
thing you said earlier about feeding the fire when people didn't believe you could do it or whatever else, on this last episode, I just spit a Matt fact, which said Matt loves to be underestimated. And the fact is the same thing, man. Anytime people go, oh, like this old motherfucker, he can't do this or he can't do
Hmm,
that, whatever, it makes me go, fuck you. Watch
hmm,
this. I'll fucking work
hmm.
harder and show you that I can do it. And that's fucking one of the reasons I'm busting my ass and fucking doing what I do in, you know, currently.
Yeah,
And the nascence and the growth of TNA is something that is very important to me right now, because it's giving a
yeah,
great opportunity for you where you are going to go on and you are going to be the TNA world champion. That's an inevitability at this point.
yeah.
And then when that's all said and done too, you're going to end up at WWE before it's all said and done. That's what I would
Hmm.
pick for your career course going forward. And dude, like, one thing people don't understand about you, being married to a New Yorker, I understand how this is because my wife is so like fucking. I mean, she has such the blood, and she has
Loud
such
and proud.
the blood and the New York minute
Yeah,
style. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like when people see you, they don't understand. Like when he says he's the realest and the illest, I mean, he's fucking very real. You know, there's not, the personality you see is very authentic. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. He's a nice guy. He's a kind guy. You get that. But he's also a real motherfucker that will fucking, if there becomes an issue, he'll fucking address it quick, fast, and in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's something that I
yeah.
have a huge respect of, about for you, because you are so real. And when you claim you're the realest, you're legitimately and authentically the realest.
I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, Matt. And going back to the growth of TNA, man, like I want to be one of the first guys, and I'm sure you've gotten it before, but like from me, all the respect in the world and appreciation in the world for what you and Jeff have done coming back to TNA, and just like really like honestly, man, like I don't care who says what, like you guys are a huge part of the growth and where we're at today. So just like I want to thank you, you know what I mean?
Thank
And
you.
just the times that I've had the opportunity to tag and work with you guys, man. I
Yeah.
remember there's been plenty of times that I'm standing on the apron and I'm watching you and Jeff move around in the ring, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like this is wild. Like you guys, haven't lost a step, and you guys like like there's the Road Warrior pop, right? There is the Hardy pop.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
a
yeah.
real thing. That's a real thing, bro. So, and the fact that I've been blessed enough to experience that firsthand in the ring is insane. And but yeah, I just want to thank you and mad respect to you and to Jeff and for all you guys have done, not just at TNA, but in the game, bro, in general. Like you bona fide legends, man. Nobody could like take that legacy away from you guys, man. Like you guys are a part of uh so many kids' childhoods and even this generation, you know what I mean? Like you're continuing to inspire and it means a lot to me. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot.
Let me ask you, we like talking about the X's and O's a lot here on this
Yeah.
podcast and how you make the magic. You spent so much of your career as a tag team guy.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've seen a bazillion Hardy Boy matches over your
Hmm.
career. What did you take away from their matches from an X's and O's standpoint as a tag guy that you guys tried to incorporate into your work?
Constant action. Like when you watch the Hardys against anybody, you know, from the 90s to now, it's constant action. And that was something that my ex-partner and I, we tried to incorporate as much as possible. That we wanted to keep the fans on the edge of their seat the entire time from bell to bell. And, you know, who did that better than the Hardys, you know? So that's definitely one of the main things. And also, you know, when it came time to get a little crazy with a lot of the crazy gimmick matches and stuff like that, we took a lot of inspiration from the Hardys. I mean, like, just look at their path, man. Look at their road and all they've done. So, yeah, the just constant action and making sure that we would always say that if we're looking around or we're on the corner and we look into the crowd and someone is on their phone, we ain't doing our job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me. How was the swimming pool of reincarnation back in the Stadium Stampede? 'Cause, that's an all timer, man.
Yo, so I remember us talking about that, and there was a bunch of different. Bro, we were filming this till like 6 a.m. and we had to rush because the sun was starting to come up. But I remember us three like talking about that specific spot and just throwing around a bunch of ideas. And I'm like, yo, this is gonna be ridiculous. And it was like the greatest thing ever. It was a lot of fun, man.
Dude, I'll tell you, and Matt's going to rejoin us here momentarily, but I thought that was such a creative way to incorporate everything that, you know, the broken Matt Hardy character is about. And for you, I mean, this is something you've never been a part of before to this juncture, right? Like you're out there, you're having serious matches, and all of a sudden there's a swimming pool. Matt Hardy comes out as 3 different characters. I mean, what was that like as a performer, having to like step outside of your comfort zone and into that environment?
Honestly, man, I looked at it as another opportunity to learn. You know what I mean? Like, I always look at challenges as learning experiences. So, anytime that I'm able to step outside my comfort zone, I embrace it. You know, that's honestly, we're at the end of the day, we're in the entertainment business, right? So, we have to learn different ways of entertaining and showing different layers of our characters and stuff like that. So, yeah, I embrace that shit.
Yeah, man, that John, they were great. It was no doubt about it. And still, it's crazy how often I still get tagged in that. It was such a memorable moment. And the way we threw that Stadium Stampede together, you know, it rained us out for like 90 minutes at one point. Like we were fighting to get that thing done. And I think we did a hell of a cinematic match considering the odds that we had against us that night.
And no one knew. I mean, at least I speak for myself. I didn't know how big this or how major this was going to be.
Yeah.
Right. Like we were all just like, yo, it's the pandemic. Let's try to do something different. You know, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. Right. And, but everyone was on the same page as far like we had some of the best, you know, in the business in that match, and just all these creative minds coming together and creating this thing was awesome. And yeah, the reaction that it got afterwards was insane. So it was cool to be a part of it.
It was great, man. I love that event so much. Let me ask you about Slammiversary, man. How are you feeling going into this match? This week on NXT, you know, you teamed with Joe Hendry. You guys picked up a win. You took the guy out with your finish. You took his head off. I love to see it. And then, and then you guys got jumped at the very end. But how are you feeling about going into Slammiversary, man? And you have a game plan. What is your play for the big match coming up this Sunday?
Bro, I am more motivated than ever. I just came back from spending 10 days with my family in Puerto Rico, and whenever I've noticed this, that whenever I have something major coming up or there's something that I really want to get ready for, I always try to go back to the island and reconnect with my roots, and because it's always been my happy place, you know, it's always been the place that I've ran to escape, and when I'm there, nothing else exists. So I got to spend 10 days there with my family and just explore, and just recharge. You know, I've been on such a grind lately that also, as you know, it's important to have the balance of taking care of business and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that I took in the past 10 days, and got myself in the mind state of like, yo, this is my first major pay-per-view main event as a singles wrestler, and being in the position that I'm in, and everything that I've been through. Like, honestly, man, like, we're in New York, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that crowd is, as you know, it's different.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's your hometown crowd there too.
yeah, man. And but in general, like, generally speaking, aside from it being my hometown crowd, New York has always been uh uh like known to be a rowdy crowd, right?
Sure.
Like, and they're very passionate, and it's always been that way. But again, yes, it's my hometown crowd, and there's people backing me, and like, I'm feeling the love from the city, my culture, my family, my friends, just everybody, man. And I'm going in there carrying all that on my back,
Yeah.
and
I,
I'm
I,
more motivated than ever, bro.
I want to ask you, because I had a chance to speak with Trick about 3
Yeah.
weeks ago, and him becoming TNA champion. And I asked him, I was like, you know, the idea of potentially squaring off with a Joe Hendry or a Mike Santana, who both have so much pro wrestling experience. You know, both of
Hmm.
them have a decade plus, 2 decades of actual wrestling experience, and you're relatively new to the game. You know, how do you approach that? And he got pretty defensive about that, because he's like, okay, maybe I haven't been in wrestling, but I've been grinding my ass off trying to make the NFL. I was in the XFL, and I'm just as capable as them in my own way. How do you feel about stepping into the ring with someone who's had a very different path than what you've had to reach this point?
Honestly, I think that's the beauty of the business, right? That everybody's path and everybody's journey is different. We all have different ways, in our own different ways of getting to where we get to. Um, but that doesn't diminish the hunger. I feel like he's he's where he's at because he's put in the work, right? I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna um, talk low on that. But like you said, I've been doing this close to 2 decades. Um, I've traveled the world. I've been in there with, you know, from the bottom of the game to the top of the game. Um, I've been wrestling on television for almost 10 years. The experience is there, but I don't underestimate anybody. The same way that, like, say, for instance, for example, in the street, I get into a fight in the street. I'm not ever going to underestimate anyone in the street, because to me, a fight in the street is a fight to the death, right? And for me, going into this, like, I look at it as I'm going into it with guys who are just as hungry as I am, and the best man is going to win. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Well, I'll tell you, man. You know, Joe has had the TNA World Title. I would love to see you come out of this as the TNA World Champ. I'm going to go ahead and put my stamp of approval on you. I would love to see that happen. See you guys be you be the guy that is the savior for TNA and bring the TNA World Title back home.
I appreciate that, Matt. Honestly, man, like, my main mission going into this and my main goal is to, of course, win, but I want to present that title to my daughter.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she is.
Oh, that gives me chills, man. I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
She is the reason why I'm here. She is the. If it wasn't for her writing that Christmas list, bro, I wouldn't be here. You know, and all the dedication and hard work and sacrifice and everything that I've put in this past year, 2 years, man, is for that little girl. And that's her prize. That belongs to her. You know. But yeah, man, and what better way to do it? What better place to do it than in my city?
Yeah,
you know.
And man, what you're saying, not to cut you off there, that you the drive that your daughter gives you. I know exactly what you're talking about because I have that exact same thing from my kids too, man. It's the feeling and the drive and the emotion you get from your children, that come from you, your children, that is your blood, your flesh, man. Like, it's an unparalleled feeling because you would do anything in the world for them. If someone said, hey, you or your kid, one of you guys have to go, I'd say, well, take me right now. Because that's the mentality you have. There is no stronger force I have ever had in my life. I have never had a stronger force in my life than the love and the drive that I have for my kid. And I can tell you, and I respect you as a father so much because I see that in you also.
Yeah, man. I'm a father first, bro. And you know that. Like, I'm a dad first. And this wrestling shit could end tomorrow, but my little girl is gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
And but again, I'm thankful that I get to live this dream and be the very best father that I can be for her. And that shit ain't gonna change, yo.
Yep.
He is Mike Santana. He's going to be challenging for the TNA World Championship at Slammiversary coming up this weekend. Best wishes to you, my friend. Again, I'm gonna throw the feature we did together in the link description here, because if you haven't heard Mike's full story, you really owe yourself the opportunity of doing so, because he is someone who has overcome a lot of adversity, just like Matt Hardy has. And we wish you nothing but the best, and thanks for hopping on the Extreme Life with us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad I got to make it, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Mike, man. I'll see you at Slammiversary. I'm excited to watch your match, man. I'm excited to see what goes down. I'm excited to see you perform. I'm excited to see you guys kill it in the main event. And also, I want to tell anybody out there that might be listening to this, because we do have people that sometimes listen that are going through struggles in real life, that are dealing with addiction problems, alcoholism, whatever it may be, man. Look up the story of Mike Santana and do a little research on him and see his story. It is one of the most inspiring motherfucking stories you will ever read, man. This guy is a role model right now, man. This guy is someone to look at and take influence from. I'm going to say that right here now, man. And I love the fact that I get to work with him. I love the fact that he is so proud of Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico as well. I can't wait to go back August 30th. I'm doing WWC, the anniversary show. It's great. I love the food. But, man, I can't say enough good things about this guy. This guy's for real. And if he is not on your radar, I want him to be on your radar. Make sure to put him on your radar.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Every time I talk to Santana, I come away more impressed with his journey and his story and everything that he's about. And I'm wishing him nothing but the best this weekend against Trick and Joe Hendry. I love Joe Hendry, and I really like Trick a lot too, but I think it's time. And, it's one of those things. It's like with Hangman. It's like with Cody. You just got to know when the time's right. And I feel like this might be the right time for Santana.
Yeah, man. I just, I want Santana or Joe Hendry to bring that title back home. Considering we are in New York, there's a part of me that absolutely wants to see Santana win this.
Get that good moment. You impressed by what he brings to the table here?
Yeah, no, I'm very proud of him. Like, I've seen so much of his growth over the last few years. I got to work with him in AEW, so I knew him there. And like, we've obviously gotten a lot closer since we've been working a lot more closely together at TNA and, kind of doing top guy shit. So it's been nice, man. And his nascence to the top, I'm very proud of him. And I think he's busted his ass, and he deserves it.
Slammiversary going down this weekend at UBS Arena. We've done a ton of talk about this show. It's going to be a big one. I'm going to be there. The Hardys are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. Yeah. Very, very excited for it. And we're excited for you to join us here on our podcast journey. AdvertiseWithHardy.com. Get your business out to thousands of listeners every single week here on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. AdvertiseWithHardy.com is the place to go for that. And as we discussed earlier, we are coming to the legendary Kowloon August 10th. HardyBoysLive.com is where you get your tickets for that. Matt, excited for you to be heading this way here on Long Island at UBS Slammiversary. Anything else you want to throw out to the Die Hardys?
I am excited to be coming. We're coming in on Saturday. We're going to be doing a charity softball game to raise a little money there, raise a little cash for a good cause. And then the next day is the day. And like I said, this is a big one for Jeff and I. Like, we are taking this match very serious, and we are going in there to kick ass, and we are going in there to continue to cement our legacy, no doubt. I do got to throw one thing out real quick, John, just from the experience I had that Saturday night, even meeting Gene Simmons, and we sat at his table and chatted with him for a while. Are you a big jokes guy? Do you have a lot of jokes like on store, like in your mind?
Like dad jokes or like regular jokes? I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
there's a couple
jokes.
I got.
There's some. So I was like blown away. He sat there and we were with it was a table of like 5 or 6 of us, whatever. And he's like, yeah, Hardy Boys, I know you're popular. I know wrestling's popular. And he knew King from before. King was there too, Jerry Lawler, and they'd met. But then he started saying, okay, well, I'm going to hit you with a few jokes. I want to hear what kind of jokes you had, which is funny. And he just started rattling them off. It's crazy how quick-witted he is. He's 75, about to turn 76, and just rattling off jokes. Boom, 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 boom. Eventually, I got him with a good one, man. I had to dig deep though. But I'm not a guy who's who carries around a ton of jokes. Just
is it a joke you can share on here or no?
The one that I got him with.
Yeah.
I
don't know. If it's not, we don't want to get you in trouble here.
Yeah, well, maybe not, but it was good. I'll share it with you in our private conversation.
All right, sounds good. I can appreciate
that. But it was fun, and you can really tell. Like he is like when they talk about him being a rock star, which he is obviously a rock star. Like everybody in the world,
biggest rock stars ever.
What a rock star he is, and you can tell when you're talking to him that he knows he's the shit too. It's funny, but he was very kind to us. It was nice. We had a good time.
Was Jeff super into that? Like,
yeah, Jeff thought it was neat. Yeah. Jeff hit him with a few jokes too. It was crazy.
Oh, Jeff's got the jokes. I know that. It
was funny when Jeff did hit him with one of the dad jokes, and Gene said, and he said, "Try again." He was big on his jokes though, which is so funny. It's a funny experience.
You should have just told him he was bigger than Obama.
That's a good one.
Goodness gracious. The words have been spoken. We'll see you next time right here on The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy.
Delay.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105 or get yourself a quick quote. Even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.